Alright, what's up guys? It's Erica with Not Your Average EDC. I have no more hair. I shaved it. We could not brush the dreadlocks out, it just didn't work. So I just told Nicole to hack my hair off and now here we are. Alright, the long-awaited, the highly anticipated Delica 4 CruWear review is starting right now. I am doing it a few days early because I'm just not going to have time to do this on Saturday. I have to work for eternity, so we're just going to do it now. We're only a few days early. Nothing's going to change. We're at where we're at. So, this is the DLT exclusive Delica 4 in CPM CruWear. But this is a Japan CruWear, okay? Or what I mean is this Delica is made in Japan. So this is not like the Golden City, Colorado Spyderco. This is made in Japan. These retail for $115. They are not available anymore. They got, sold out pretty quick when they dropped. You can only find them on eBay at this point or, somebody doing a knife sale on Instagram. But $115 for this knife. FRN scales, 4-way pocket clip, and a CruWear blade that is a really nice profile. Let's talk about the pros, the cons, and then the final thoughts. So, the pros. Number one, ergonomics. This is a very comfortable knife. Very, very comfortable. It locks into your hand. This jimping is fantastic. It's very small and bitey. That ramp is really comfy. The whole knife in general just kind of melts into your hand, whether you have it tip down or tip up. I really like tip down. It is comparable in size to a bug out, which we all know. So Benchmade bug out, let's kind of bring those together here. Very similar in size. So a really nice EDC length, crazy lightweight, and it's very comfortable to use, especially because this tip comes down and then you have this like belly here. This is a really good utility knife and a really good work knife. It does exactly what you want it to do when you want it to do it. Very easy to do all different types of cuts here. I've done a lot of these types of cuts with this knife. Very comfortable to use. This coating on the blade is the best coating I've ever used. So it's a black coating. It does not chip. It kind of just fades instead. So we have some fading on the spine. We have some around the spidey hole and around the kind of like pivot area. But no chipping or anything, just some light fading, and it looks really beautiful when it fades. This was like a very dark black before. Sorry, the lighting in here is not good in the truck. But it was a very dark black, and now it's kind of like this Teflon matte, almost gray finish with how it's worn. The blade shape is incredible. The thinness, if you like thin, slicey blades, this is for you. It is very, very thin. Did not have a problem like breaking it with the thinness. It just... Like, if you're not going to push this will be fine for you. If you're a hard user, maybe not. But very, very nice, thin, slicey blade. Really good blade length. Never had a problem with the FRN. It's rugged. I did use the butt end of it as a hammer. And I've dropped it numerous times. It's rugged. The FRN is rugged. I really like that you can move the pocket clip around. That's good because I've mentioned in previous videos that I actually really like carrying tip down. It's kind of like old school, but I do enjoy it, and just like pulling it out of my pocket and deploying it, I really like that. Let's see. Lanyard hole, didn't have to use it because I'm carrying tip down, but it does have a decently generous lanyard hole for your paracord or leather lace. Let's see. And the CruWear is not terrible. I'll leave it at that for the pros. The CruWear is not terrible. The cons. So here's where we're gonna get into quite a few cons, because especially over the last week, this thing has kind of started to drive me nuts. So at the beginning of the testing, I was kind of in like the honeymoon phase. Really enjoyed this. The CruWear did not seem too bad. It, because of the ergonomics, because of the cool colors, because it is what it is, I was very much in love with this in the first week. And this is why, going kind of a different direction for like 2 seconds, bear with me. This is why it's so important that reviewers on YouTube should really actually carry a knife and use it before they do a review. And by carry and use it, more than a week, guys. More than a week. So I'm talking 2, 3, 4 weeks, 4 weeks like me maybe. Because what happens is you can really like a knife at first, and then as you actually use it and actually build a relationship with it, you might realize different stuff. But a lot of these reviewers out here, they carry it and use it for 1 week, and then they do a review and they leave it at that. And I don't think that's a proper way to do an actual review on something. So that's why I do it for a month, because the first week I was singing this one's praises. Second week, not too bad. Third week, we start really noticing some cons, and fourth week I want to toss this in the fucking trash. So cons. Number 1, this CruWear is not okay. Now, super bummer, because everyone told me that the CruWear that Spyderco does is incredible. However, I think they failed to mention that maybe the US made stuff is incredible and maybe Japan doesn't do such a hot job, because I've heard that the Paramilitary 2 that just came out in CruWear is incredible, and this Japanese-made knife, I am having to maintain this at the end of every single day. Now, I am not smashing this into tables and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I'm doing pretty basic stuff with this, guys. Am I using it for hours and hours on end per day? Yes. But I can do that with a Benchmade bug out in S30V and not have to touch it up at the end of the day, and I have to touch this up. So this CruWear is really not that great coming from overseas. It's just not. And at $115, I could spend $30 extra for an S30V Benchmade bug out that lasts days without me touching it up. For the same weight, the same length, really nice blade shape, 30 extra bucks, and an easier locking mechanism. So this is overpriced. This is absolutely overpriced. Let's talk about the back lock, because that's another thing. This is a very old school locking mechanism that I do not enjoy using at all. For those of you saying it's strong, I'm sure it is. However, if I have the pivot tightened more to reduce the blade play, I can't open and close it like this. I can't open and close it one-handed if the pivot is more tightened. But then when it's loose enough to do this type of one-hand opening stuff and one-hand closing, we have up and down and side-to-side blade play. And I have tinkered with this for 45 minutes to try and find a sweet spot, and there just isn't. It's either you got blade play or you can't close the knife one-handed. So CruWear from Japan, not so good. Price point, not so good. Locking mechanism, not so good. Pocket clip, horrendous. Horrendous. I purposely didn't put a deep carry on this because I wanted to test this as it is. Not very much retention at all. This has slipped out of my pocket a few times at work when I'm bending over and my leg kind of pushes this up out of my pocket. It just doesn't want to quite stay very well at all. So a lot of cons. And then also, I did make the sharpening choil video. I know Spydercos don't come with sharpening choil, so this doesn't apply to the Delica exactly, but just another thing that drove me nutty. It didn't have a sharpening choil. I put one on there. We have a nice little choil now that does not disturb any type of cutting tasks. However, it makes sharpening easier and more even, and it won't ruin my sharpening stone by trying to accommodate for that heel area, the ricasso. So guys, $115, you're paying for it to look cool. That's basically what you're doing when you when Spyderco does exclusive drops like this, where the knife is worth $70 and they charge $115, you're paying that extra price because it's black and green. And because it's CruWear. The CruWear sucks. And the American stuff I'm sure is good. The whatever they're doing overseas, not good at all. This feels like an overpriced gas station knife, just like I said before. My thoughts have not changed on that. Is it good? Yes. Is it great? No. It's really not, and it's not worth $115. Literally $70 is what I would pay for this. Especially, like I said, when we have very competitive offerings at a little more of a price point, but they're more rugged, they're the same length, they're the same shape, and they have better, easier locking mechanisms. Right? This is the Para 3 lightweight, very comparable, superior in my opinion for many reasons. Bug out, superior for many reasons. I just don't think that this is worth the hype. And for the 24 people that have asked to buy this off of me at the end of the testing, I'm going to say no, and that's because I would feel like I'm gypping you if I sold this to you. This one's going to stay because it cut off my dreadlocks, so it's kind of like it has a little bit of sentimental value to me now. But I wouldn't want to sell it to you anyway just because I feel like I would be ripping you off. I don't want to give you something that I don't stand behind, and this I just can't quite stand behind fully. You cannot hard use this. It just has its quirks, and I just wouldn't recommend this for the price point to anyone. If they had done a new drop for $70, yes, I would recommend it. But for $115, don't waste your money. Not like you can anyway, because they're not available. But the CruWear, if I could compare this to something that I have tested and used thoroughly before, this reminds me of, like, what does it remind me of? Because Benchmade's S30V is better than this. It reminds me of a Chris Reeve S35. So that's what this feels like. It is very easy to sharpen. It doesn't hold an edge very long at all, and it feels like one of those soft-treated Chris Reeve S35s that they used to make. So that's saying something. That's how poorly done this CruWear is. It takes a toothy edge, for sure, and like I said, easy to sharpen, and it's a nice, crisp edge. It just doesn't hold it very long at all with what I'm doing, which is a lot of, cutting and slicing at work, but nothing psychotic. It's just like produce bags, dog food bags, some twine and rope, and tons of cardboard, and some produce. I just don't feel like CruWear should be failing that often when I can get it from Benchmade or John at BGM Knives, and I can thrash on it for a week and just strop it at the end of 7 days. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does. Yeah, very in-depth review here. Not quite recommended. I would look into offerings that are comparable, like these two. I will be testing both of these at some point. I'm very curious to see how the BD1N does. This bug out is in S90V. I built this one at the custom shop on Benchmade. S90V. So this one will be tested as well at some point. I just have a lot of experience with like the Para 3, the bug out in general, so that's why I brought these in as kind of like comparables. But both of these are superior to the Delica for sure. This is just gonna be a weekend carry, a summer carry, and a piece of the toolbox that won't see too much use ever again, probably because it drives me nutty. Guys, I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please watch videos of reviewers that actually carry their stuff. I'll give a shout out to Indie Hammer again, Mike from Powers Carvings and Crafts, Jeremy over at Bumblebee EDC, people that actually carry their knives for more than a week and they actually are using them and at the end they look used. Please go watch those videos and watch those channels. They do really good work, and I really do think it's important that we support channels that actually are telling the truth and not getting paid to do a review or given gear to do a review, because like I said, I was in love with this for the first week and now it's driving me crazy. So yeah, go watch some real reviews, because the big boys in the town are not doing them properly for the most part, and that's just the truth. No offense, big boys, but we got some new people coming into town that are doing real stuff here, so watch out. Have a great day, guys. Go use your shit, and I will see you on the next video.